Hello everybody, welcome to my blue wall. I am here with my official Knighthood Ancient Bards t-shirt to answer to your questions about Origine and Ancient Bards and everything in between. So let's get to it. So, first question is, will there be a tab book of Origine, guitar and bass? You guys are insanely talented. High five. Yes, we actually made tabs and sheet musics for Origine through our crowdfunding campaign. But since we do have the tabs, maybe if you wanted, we could put them up on our web store for purchase. Let us know if you are interested. A European tour soon. Yes, we are working on that. We do have some dates lined up, still to be confirmed. But yeah, we are working on that really, really hard. Juan Pablo. Hola, Juan Pablo. Love your music. Who writes the music and the lyrics? Come to Mexico, please. Well, the music is taken care of by Daniele Mazza. He's the composer. Everything starts from him. Whenever he's about to write a song, he thinks of the story and then tries to narrate it with music. Our music is basically the soundtrack of the story, so he does that. Then I take care of the lyrics. Next question. How many CDs will there be of Lork and Irene before we get back to Sheena and the others? Well, I really don't know the exact number. Could be one, could be two, could be three. But what I know is that the next one is most probably be still about Lork and Irene, because, you know, we just presented the characters and we still don't know what actually happened in the beginning, in the Origine. Which, by the way, it's spelled Origine. It's Italian. It has the final E, which we read as an E. So it's Origine. Any plans of touring outside of Europe? We are actually working on that too. Yeah, it's not really easy. We have something, but yeah, you know, it's still in the works. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get outside Europe. What is each band member's favorite song to perform live? I can only answer for me, and I guess my favorite song to perform live, but I guess it's Light. It's a really special song to me for both the melody and the lyrics, and I quite enjoy it performing it live. What was the biggest influence for all the band members, and who writes the stories? Well, as I said before, Daniele writes the story, and it was all written before any of the album came out, so it was a whole big story. So he does that, and the biggest influence for all the band members, all of us have an enormous amount of influences from any kind of music and any kind of artist, so it's really, really hard to tell which song from Origine was the most difficult to compose. Greetings from Argentina. Hola, Argentina. I actually asked Daniele because he's the one who composes, and he said that definitely the last one, The Great Divide, the long suite, was the hardest to compose. Ci attende una parte 2 formata da 3 album in totale e con l'ordine dei capitoli a mo' di Star Wars 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Questo è in Italian. This one's in Italian, I'm gonna answer in Italian, sorry. Una parte 2 formata da 3 album, onestamente non lo so, perché solo Daniele, anche a noi non ci fa sapere tutti i dettagli. Sicuramente 2 ci saranno, non so se saranno 3, e considerando che Origine, in effetti sì, considerando che Origine è una sorta di prequel, sì, diciamo che l'analogia con Star Wars calza abbastanza. Brava. If every album was like an episode, how many episodes are there left? Well, yes, our albums are actually chapters. Inside of the chapters there are episodes, and as you can see from my blog, I am explaining each episode in the SAGA tab, so if you want to check that out. I don't know how many episodes there are left. Only Daniele knows. So we'll just have to wait. Se Aureum Legacy sarà in setlist, c'è la possibilità che eseguirete la versione in italiano? È bellissima. Grazie. Perché no? Potrebbe essere. Non è la prima volta che ci viene fatta questa richiesta. Sì, non è detto che noi non lo faremo mai. Chi lo sa, chi lo sa, chi lo sa. Possibilità di concerti per l'estate di quest'anno o l'inizio del tour direttamente in autunno? Quest'estate in Italia no, per ora ancora non c'è niente. Purtroppo ancora la situazione tour live è ancora in costruzione, quindi purtroppo non posso dare nessuna informazione certa. Pardon. What was the most difficult guitar solo to record? Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna say that Claudio doesn't usually have particular difficulties when he plays, so I'm guessing none of them, but I'll make sure to ask him and then let you know, ok? Domanda stupida, ma non ci sono domande stupide. La musica in 16 bit del Making of Delight da quale OST è tratta? Credo da nessuno, perché suppongo sia una musica royalty free, che ormai sono le uniche che si possono usare sui social media, perché bisogna essere detentori dei diritti. Quindi credo che sia una musica casuale. Quando vienen a Chile a darnos un concierto épico? Esperamos que pronto, yo no lo sé. Hopefully we'll come to Chile and all North and South America very soon, but fingers crossed, fingers really, really crossed. How are the choirs recorded? Do you guys use a real choir? I've always been curious about that. Yes, the choir is real. It's actually not a very, very large choir, but we do many takes, so it sounds bigger, but it's actually some pretty talented girls and boys, which are real. Do you guys think about a Black Crystal Sword Saga Part 3? I actually genuinely don't know. I just work with it as the story comes along, as Daniele tells me before Langer's done. Era necessario inserire il growl? Ok, la dicotomia luce-tenebra del concept, ma proprio non mi piace. Credo di averti già risposto a questa cosa. Sorry, this one's in Italian, so as I said, I'm gonna answer in Italian. Era necessario inserire il growl? Era necessario perché se non fosse stato necessario non l'avremmo messo. Mi dispiace che non ti piaccia questa scelta, però effettivamente non è una novità, è da Soulless Child che abbiamo inserito delle voci gutturali o delle voci comunque più graffianti. Pensavamo che fosse il modo migliore per esprimere quello che volevamo esprimere, e adesso che abbiamo un growler in house lo stiamo usando più spesso e siamo molto contenti di averlo fatto. Mi dispiace. Team, any plans for a tour, maybe included with Switzerland? Yes, as I said before, many plans for a tour, but you know, you never know, and Switzerland might actually be on the map, but shh. What's your favorite song to play? I can tell you what's my favorite song to sing, and it's actually being Light Now. But before Light, I particularly enjoyed I guess Soulless Child, which is very difficult to sing, and Lode al Padre. What's the malum? Oh, the malum is a medallion that the rejects hold as, you know, the scepter, you know. It's a symbol of power, and they give it to Lork when he arrives at their village. North American tour soon, hopefully. Any chance we can crowdfund for a world tour? That's an interesting question. Well, that wouldn't be a bad idea. We can think about it. Maybe for a world tour, yeah. If we'll think about it. Thanks for the idea. Why are there so many great Italian metal bands? Could use more great bands in the US. I don't know. I guess, well, you have great metal bands in the US too. So I guess, I don't know. So these were the questions from Instagram. Now I'm going to go and see what you asked on Facebook. Congrats. I'm not a pro on the history of the album, so I just read the lyrics of Origine, so sorry if the answer lies within the former albums. Question number 1. What is exactly the Orium? The Orium is a symbol of the family of the Supreme and Lork and Irene. It's been given from generation to generation as the symbol of, not power, because they actually don't have a real power, but it's an identity, a symbol of strength and purity. I don't know. Yes, it's a medallion. It's something purely symbolic. Am I mistaken, or is Origine a prequel to the former trilogy? Yes, you're not. I mean, no, you're not mistaken. It's a prequel. Why I can find the Alliance of the Kings on Deezer while it's on Spotify? We actually don't know about that. We've been asked about that a lot of times, many times, but I don't know the answers. It's something we are not able to control. Monica Novak asks, this demon in the end of Unknown Ending was Lark? I can't wait for another chapter. Your saga is like a good fantasy book. Wait, somebody rang the doorbell. Just a sec. Oh, the demon. Was it Lark? I don't know for sure. I guess we'll have to wait. Only Daniela knows the answer. I'm sorry. Dakota Edward. Who is the older sibling, Irene or Lark? It has never been discussed, this, between me and Daniela. I always assumed too that it was Lork. Will we see Sander again in later albums? I don't know. He's supposed to be dead, you know. New question. North America / Canada tour soon? If the answer is yes, bring a lot of merch. Well, as I said before, we are really hoping to be able to get there. And if we do, of course, we'll bring our merch. And lots of it. Owen, your bass player is an absolute beast. How long has he been playing, and what advice can he give to someone wanting that level of skill? Love your band, much love from Ireland. Hi, Owen. Well, I'll have Martino answer directly to you under your comment, so he can give you more precise information. What I know is that he is very talented, but he studied a lot. He really practiced. Luke, any chance for more Final Fantasy covers? I don't know, because that's something usually Daniele decides. He needs to be inspired by a song to make a cover of it, and he really liked the ones we did before, but this time we didn't want to do another one, so I don't know, maybe in the future. Hello there, and congrats for the amazing new album. Thank you. We all know the album took a long time to come out, although it was totally worth the wait. Would you say all this time helped the creative process of the album, or had everything been already thought out but you just couldn't release it? Well, the base of it was already thought out. At the beginning of 2016, I want to say. The skeleton of the album was already composed. Daniele had already laid down the basic structures of the songs. So we were actually thinking about going into the studio right away and finish everything, but we couldn't because of many reasons that we have discussed previously in other places. But yeah, I guess the time we had helped in the development of Origine. Although Daniele, had already laid down the basics for the album, I guess during this time he had the possibility to go over it and change things and rearrange and try new sounds and I don't know, he had more time to work on a structure that was already there. So yes, I guess the time helped make Origine a better product. Next question comes from Miguel Santiago. What is the band's favorite food? Did you eat it often when recording the album? I don't know about the others. My favorite food, I guess it could be pizza. Maybe some of the others will tell you that it's sushi. I don't know. The next question is from Jack. Which franchises were the greatest inspiration for the music on this album? No franchise specifically. I guess for the story, you can find some connecting points with Star Wars. But musically, other than the fact that Daniele is very influenced by the music from Hans Zimmer, maybe something of Pirates of the Caribbean or something like that can be an influence, but nothing directly was taken as an inspiration for the album. Mm-hmm. Rihanna asks, what is Impio's Dystopia? Is it a spell, a ritual, an event? Good question. Well, the Impio's Dystopia is just, the sentence of doom. I mean, it's what would happen if Lork continued on his path. His decisions are wrong, and if he continues pursuing his plan, it's going to take the world to this Impio's Dystopia where everything is wrong and doomed. Does that make sense? Let me know. Is the chief of the rejects a male or female? Have you given them a name? Where is Irene Lork's mother? Interesting question. I personally assumed that the chief of the reject was male. It does not have a name yet. And I don't know where Irene's and Lork's mother is. Maybe we'll find more about this soon in another album. Who knows? Let's go on. Was there any major inspiration for the story from a book or movie series? After listening to each album 10 billion times and overthinking the story, it almost seems like a forgotten age from the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, which so happens to be my favorite collection of literature to ever exist. I might be reaching. Yes, Edward, I think you might be reaching. We have never heard of this Robert Jordan guy, but you know, the major inspiration are always the same, because the story was created by Daniele when he was 16 years old and he envisioned the whole story, the whole package. Scusate, scrivo in italiano, il mio inglese è raccapricciante, un po' come il mio. Il concept parla della lotta tra il bene ed il male, mescolando elementi orientali ed altri più marcatamente occidentali. Luce, Irene, e oscurità, l'Orc, sono generati dalla stessa entità, il Supremo, il che potrebbe far pensare ad una concezione simile allo Yin e Yang. Tuttavia l'Orc non è oscuro per una questione di causa-effetto, bensì per scelta, un tratto distintivo delle concezioni etiche europee. A quale delle due visioni è più legato il concept? Ma che bella disamina! Le influenze che sono state inserite nella storia non sono mai state prese direttamente, sono solo il risultato di un bagaglio culturale generico che abbiamo dentro di noi. Per cui direi che tutto quello che dici è veritiero in parti relative, insomma. È vero che l'Orc è cattivo per scelta, così come Irene è buona per scelta. Martine! Green skin and blue hair is pretty cool. Where did you get that idea? We didn't get the idea. The idea was Vincent's, the digital artist, who made the cover, and he just envisioned Irene to be like that. And when we saw it, we thought, really, really cool. Go Irene. Mi è piaciuto molto il fatto che alla fine della storia entrambi si trovino nella stessa sgradevole condizione di dover impugnare la spada, ma per cause diverse. L'Orc lo ha scelto. Irene lo fa per necessità e probabilmente ne farebbe volentieri a meno. In realtà non era una domanda, ma ci tenevo a dirlo. Eh sì, hai ragione. L'Orc diventa bellicoso e Irene assurge semplicemente a quello che sente sia il suo dovere. Bravo. Will its predecessor ever be re-released on CD? I was too late at the time and I want to hear the story from CD before getting into Origine. Hi Andrea, yes, we actually got represses and they are available on our web store. We'll give you the link in the answer, in the reply to your comment. Come mai in Light è stato scelto il verbo endure, più simile a resistere, invece di bear? Ho molto gradito la sfumatura, mi interessava sapere se era solo un problema di metrica, se era una scelta dettata dalla lieve differenza di significato o se è semplicemente venuta in mente la parola endure e basta. Ho scelto endure perché volevo usare endure. È la parola che mi è venuta più naturale per sottolineare un po' la fatica del sopportare la cosa. I love the Latin parts in the album. I think they are really powerful and remarkable. Do any of you guys speak or have some knowledge of Latin? None of us speak Latin. I wrote the part in Latin. I have still some reminiscence from when I studied it in high school. So I do have some knowledge. We'll do a second round of joining the Brotherhood. Unfortunately, I missed it last time. Oh, you mean the knighthood? The Ancient Bard knighthood? Well, I think we will find a way to expand the knighthood because it's a somewhat elite group of people right now, but it can be expanded. So I think so. We will find a way. Stay tuned. Ho trovato molti richiami alla religione nei testi, a iniziare dal più ovvio, quello della fede citata in Orion Legacy, fino al tema del fratello buono, fratello cattivo, Caino e Abele. Passando dalla visione salvifica del dolore, le lacrime di Irene fanno brillare il cristallo con cui verrà creata la White Crystal Sword. Scusate, ho preso il microfono. Mi spingo ancora più in là. L'intera vicenda sembra quasi rappresentare la frase a chi sarà dato e a chi non sarà... scusate. A chi ha sarà dato e a chi non ha sarà tolto anche quello che ha. I riferimenti sono voluti? No, non in maniera diretta, come penso aver detto prima. Tutto quanto la storia viene raccolta da storie che abbiamo interiorizzato in tutta la nostra vita, per cui sicuramente Caino e Abele è un riferimento assolutamente corretto, ma non intenzionalmente inserito, è comunque qualcosa che fa parte della nostra cultura. Quindi sicuramente fratello buono, fratello cattivo sono sicuramente un riferimento. Leandro, would you guys like to venture and make a movie out of the stories of the album? Of course, that would be very, very fun. We could, use the music as the soundtrack and then further expand the narration. Would be really, really, really nice. So I guess this is the last question. David Shields. What is your favorite song on the album and why? Any possibility of another video for another song? And Martijn says +1 on the video question. My favorite song of the album is, as I said before, Light. And I love it because I'm a sucker for ballads, and I really, really like the message that I wanted to convey with that song. I think it's very real, very relatable, and very powerful. Possibility of another video for another song? There is. There is. So I hope this video won't be too long. I will edit it a bit to make it more interesting. So I hope you like this little session, my blue wall, and I guess I'll see you soon. Bye bye.